information on what to learn first, and also what to do first, and also what are some of the goals that you should set in place for you to what to achieve first as you start your Rima business. So I'm assuming if you've been invited to orientation, you have already seen a presentation, or you already had at least basic information, introduction of Rima opportunities. So we're going to skip talking about the opportunity or the products, and we're going to dive into the orientation, assuming that you have all basic information. Is that okay? For those of you who are joining for the first time, I'll briefly introduce myself. My name is Danny Bay. I live in Las Vegas, America. But prior to being in America, I was born and raised in a small country in Asia called Korea. Any of you ever been to Korea? Okay, about half a dozen of you. Any of you would like to visit Korea one day? Any of you never heard of Korea? Now, Korea is an interesting country. It's a beautiful country. Population of 50 million, but from one end all the way north of South Korea to south of South Korea, it's a 45-minute flight. So it's a very small country packed with 50 million population. But it does have thousands of history and heritage, and there's a lot of beautiful things to experience. But for me, I got very lucky, and I believe in luck. I do believe in luck, and I do believe that sometimes in life, unique opportunities or unique introduction of meeting people happens in life unexpectedly. Would you agree? I'll give you two quick examples. 24 years ago, I went to this church gathering. Some churches got together and did a sporting event in Vegas. And next church to our church, I saw this girl. She was wearing this green bandana. She was just beautiful. She was a stranger. But a year later, she was my girlfriend. 5 years later, she's my wife. And now she's my mother of my 3 children, the oldest being 18. Just think about that. You know, unexpectedly meeting someone that was a complete stranger, becoming your spouse and becoming mother of your children. We've been together for 24 years. It's those are unique opportunities and lucky moments. And I believe that those things may not happen every day, but how many of you agree in life, unexpectedly unique opportunities like that do appear in our life? And sometimes you take it and sometimes you don't. And in business world, in the professional life, I had that opportunity 2 times. When I was in college, I got very lucky and I got introduced to a group of entrepreneurs when I was 18 years old, and they were successful. I only lived in America for a few years. I barely spoke English, but these group of entrepreneurs from California, they were successful, rich, but they were also easy to talk to, which was a surprise for me, because growing up in a regular household, watching movies, I thought all rich people were bad people. And I thought all wealthy people were rude people. But I got to meet them, and they were so kind, so respectful, and they were mega successful. And I thought to myself, man, I would love to be like one of them one day. And I'll give anything to be like that. My second thought was, what if I could just get around them? And, kind of get around them and kind of learn what they do and learn how they are and learn what they know. Maybe I could be a little bit like them. How many of you agree environment matters? How many of you guys agree with that? If you walk into a room where everybody's laughing, how many of you agree in 2 seconds you're probably going to get at least smile? Would you agree with that? How many of you ever walked into a room, you were having a good day, but you walk into a room and how many of you ever felt the energy of everybody just upset and frustrated and stressed out, and you don't even know why, but you just walk in the room and you just feel the same stress? How many of you ever experienced something like that, right? So environment matters, and my second thought was, if I could just get around them, maybe I could learn, and I could maybe be a little bit like them. And that's what started a journey for me to become an entrepreneur when I was very young, at 18 years old. And I've spent 20 plus years doing business, in many different countries. I love sales, I love marketing, I love business expansion. And when 3.5 years ago, when I was a CEO of a couple lucky and I got introduced to you. And that's the company that we're learning about today. And that's the company that we're going to be talking about. And when I got introduced to Riemann, I look at that as my second unexpected, unique opportunity that just popped up in my life that I wasn't planning to. If you told me 3.5 years ago, I'll be in the United Kingdom, central London, right now, in this beautiful deep art building with all of you talking about K-Beauty, I wouldn't have believed you. And just like some of you are here, unexpectedly, someone gave you an invitation in a very unique way. And maybe you just came to learn about it, you just came to maybe do someone a favor. Whatever the case may be, I want to encourage you to have an open mind and learn this orientation that we're going to talk about for the people that are making a decision to become a partner with Riemann, because there's a lot of value and a lot of direction that we're going to be sharing that I believe that if you take it, it will help you in, of course, your Riemann journey, but also our area, there are lessons in the orientation I believe will also help you and serve you in your life outside of Riemann as well. So let's dive into the orientation. The agenda of the orientation, first of all, we want to welcome you to Riemann. So let me say it first, and if you guys don't mind, let's welcome the people that are sitting next to you, welcome them to Riemann, okay? Officially welcome them to Riemann. Can you welcome everybody around to Riemann? Second thing we're going to talk about is the support system. If you start your Riemann business, we have a great support system that you're going to have access to, and we're going to talk about that. Third thing we're going to talk about is a 4-step training called launching your business. On what to learn, what to do, and what to achieve first is going to be in launching your business program that we're going to be going over. And after that, we have some announcements and give you some updates today. Now, Mr. Thomas is correct. Today will be the first time and the last time that I will be doing the full orientation in the United Kingdom by myself. Okay? Just because we're new in the UK market. Next time I'm here, there will be leaders in the United Kingdom that will be doing orientation, components of orientation much better than me. In every market that we spend to, I from start to finish do this whole thing by myself. I only do it one time in each market, and usually it's done by multiple different speakers, local leaders that continue and actually do a better job than me in every market. All right. So today I'm going to share this with you. Now, just to briefly recap who Riemann is, just so you get more familiar with our opportunity. Our company started in 2018. In 7.5 years, we became the #1 K-beauty brand in Korea, most competitive skincare market in the world. And we sold over $40 million in a country with 50 million people, and company only done business in Korea for the first 4.5 years, and we started our global expansion 2.5 years ago. And we have now entered into our 10th country, United Kingdom. So we're operating in 10 markets, and we have done billions of dollars in revenue, bringing this #1 K-beauty brand and the opportunity everywhere. And people ask, like, what is so different about Riemann? How is Riemann having success at a level that no other company in skincare or K-beauty or direct sales industry has seen? And I always tell people it's really because in Riemann, this wasn't a slogan, this wasn't a tagline. This is just something that all the distributors were saying for so long that now it became something we explain. Okay, let me explain what I'm talking about. Whenever people talk about Riemann, one of the most common words that we hear is the word called difference. And people talk about how Riemann is different. Yes, our skincare is different. Yes, our products are different. Our philosophy is different. Our plan is different. Our price structure and philosophy is different. Our business model, our business plan is different. Most importantly, people you meet and people you get to associate with in Riemann is different. Now, many of you, today's your first day meeting people from Riemann. Today's the first day you're experiencing maybe the cultural and the products and the systems of Riemann. But how many of you could already feel just a little bit that there's something different happening, different vibe and there's something different about people that you're meeting in this community, in this space. How many of you guys agree with that, right? I can tell you the company's philosophy, our chairman's philosophy in how he created the company, how he is developing the products, and he's made it to an intentional point of making sure that price is not a premium price, even though the products are at the highest level luxury premium point products. He wanted to make sure that everybody got access to the products, and that's why he keeps the pricing the way that he does. And having a business model, a business plan that could truly compensate people for doing a great job in not just one area, but having opportunity balanced out in 3 different areas, which is strong retail, or team building, or leadership development. There are business programs out there. They may have great compensation for retail, and they give you high rewards for doing a great job in retail. But once you start developing team, they don't compensate you well. Or when you develop leaders, they don't compensate you well. But there are programs, they have strong compensation in building teams, but they don't have strong retail opportunity. Remon has a very balanced, strong compensation where you could have, if you want to do a great job in retail, you can make high retail commission up to 40–50%. If you want to do a good job in team building, and that's your forte, and that's where you want to spend more time and focus on, you can actually earn up to 30% in team building activities. And if you're like, hey, I love developing leaders, I love leadership development, and if that's what you like, well, we have programs that literally gives you up to 40% in leadership match program, which is super rewarding because you help somebody else to make great commission, you get a 40% matching bonus for that. Just imagine how amazing you will feel if you help somebody else to make 10,000 pounds and you got 40% of that amount as a bonus for you. How many of you think that would be pretty rewarding? And over time, imagine helping somebody to make 100,000 pounds in commission by being a distributor partner with us. Imagine you're getting 40% of 100,000 pounds as a bonus for helping that person to do so. So in all 3 categories of business development, there is a very special plan which we'll talk more about later. Now let's talk about the support system. Your best support system you're going to have, that you're going to have access to 24/7, is our website, Remon.com. Remon.com is our global website that you can access not just for UK, but all the countries we're operating in 10 countries, as well as all the countries that we're going to be expanding all throughout Europe. Everybody is going to be able to do all these activities on Remon.com. Remon.com, of course, you can get basic information about the company and the products, but more importantly, you can enroll business partners, you can enroll customers, you can manage sales, you can order products, you can manage tracking, the shipping tracking information. You can manage your personal activities, your commission reviews, as well as your team's activities, performance, sales, all these things you're going to be able to access through Remon.com. So Remon.com is going to be a great support system that you're going to get used to. When you become a distributor with us, during the pre-launch of October, November, it is actually free enrollment, so you can create an account with us for free. If you're a guest here today just learning about Remon, after this, make sure to contact and get together with the person that gave the invitation so you can set up your account. Literally takes less than 2 to 5 minutes, and it's free to create your account. And once you create it, immediately you're going to have your own online store. So yes, you can manage sales and get all these reports, but also having your own online store, now you have ways for customers to purchase products from you that you get credit for, that you can start generating commission right away. So one way is they could go to Remon.com and put in their information, but a better way is you giving them your own domain with your username. Okay, as an example, what's your name? Casey? Casey, everybody say hello, Casey. Hello, Casey. Nice to meet you, Casey. Now, assuming that Casey became a distributor, a partner with Remon, let's just say she said, okay, I want to have an online store. Unless name is already taken. However, she spells her name, she could choose to see if name's available, and if it is, she could create her own online store for free at the moment, casey.remon.com. Or if you have different marketing names that you'd like to use, you could do it. So as an example, let's just say her website becomes casey.raymond.com. Anytime that she talks to her friend or family or colleagues or someone on social media, and they say, hey, now I'm going to get this new partner with this #1 KC brand that just entered into the United Kingdom, and anytime they say they want to try it and tell me more on where do I get it, all she has to do is send them casey.raymond.com, and when they purchase from that website, she doesn't have to make the product, she doesn't have to deliver the product, she doesn't have to warehouse the product, right? She doesn't have to do any of it. They could literally just order on that website, and every time they do, she's going to receive commission. How many of you think that's a great idea, right? With the popularity of K-Beauty, how many of you agree so many people in the United Kingdom heard of, and they know that K-Beauty is good, but they don't know what to buy, and they don't know where to buy. How many of you guys agree with that? Now you could become the source. You could become the source. You could become the person, go-to person for everybody in your community to access the #1 K-Beauty brand that just entered into the United Kingdom. So your website is going to be an incredible business building tool and support system for you. On top of that, sometimes you have conversations with someone, and we have a variety of products. And let's just say I've spoken to Casey, and Casey was going to be my customer, but maybe I talked to her about a booster and serum and cream and maybe one cleanser product. And let's just say she agreed that yes, I would like to try and buy those 4 products. If that was what happened, what's so cool about our system is we have a way for you to create a bag. So I could literally log in and I could create a bag. And instead of telling her to browse through the website and look for those 4 products, I could create a bag with those 4 products that we already talked about, and I could send her a link of that shopping bag. So when she clicks on the link and open up the bag, it already has the 4 products that we pre-discussed, or maybe your recommended products for your friends and family, and all they have to do is literally check out and they can complete the order. How many of you guys think that's a pretty cool tool to have, right? Now, there are more features to it, but I'm just giving you at the high level basic information. So Raymond.com, you want to get familiar with. Second support system that support tool that you want to get familiar with is called The Drive. And it's a separate website called ExploreRaymond.com. If you go to ExploreRaymond.com, it is going to ask for a passcode, okay? Because it's not for public, it's for people that become members with us. I'm going to give you a passcode. It's really hard to remember. You may have to write it down. It's Raymond, okay? So you type in Raymond, you're going to be able to access the Drive. The Drive is where you could access all marketing materials. I mean, you could get digital brochures. Sometimes, now most people just know that it's good, it's safe, and I want to use it. But sometimes, how many of you know some people, couple people in your life where they want to know everything about everything, and they want to know more about everything? How many of you guys know people like that? They're like, what are exactly the ingredients that's in there? I mean, I'm just going to be honest, half of the ingredients in there, I can't even pronounce them, or I can't spell them for sure. But some people will like to know, right? So what's cool is when they go to the Drive, we have a digital one-page digital brochure per product. So each product, it's a 2-page document, PDF document, that actually has all the ingredient lists. It has how to use the product, instruction, and also the benefits of each product on the document. Does that make sense to you? That's one as an example. Sometimes you get a customer or you get a business partner, maybe they have a salon, or maybe they're an esthetician, or maybe they have a spa. They're already in the beauty space and they would love to display nice poster or banners and things like that. We have marketing materials that you could go on there, download it, print it, and things that's already designed beautifully, professional. It's not making over claims, but it's got the right, accurate information for you to professionally share in a very beautiful designed document. Does it make sense? So all those some videos that are in there on how to use the product, documents on how to build business, training documents, presentation, orientation, PowerPoint, all the marketing assets are in that website, on that website, ExploreRaymond.com, with the password Raymond. Okay, so that is somewhere that you want to maybe spend a couple hours a week and get familiar with, because you could get additional great support documents from there. Third thing is what's called launching your business. Now, also, there's a one-page sheet called Launching Your Business Document, which I definitely recommend every single one of you to print one at home and actually fill out as a hard copy so you can actually use it to keep yourself on track for your initial plans and initial goals in the business. This document is also available under ExploreRemont.com under the tools section, okay? Now, at this time, I'm going to go through the Launching Your Business document, which is the whole 4-step process that gives you instruction on what to learn and what to do and what to achieve first as you start your Remont business. Let's go to step 1, okay? Step 1 is called My Business Plan. Step 1, you want to put a business plan together for yourself. Within Remont Business, everybody has their own business within the business, right? We got a couple hundred of us here. We all have different desires, and we all have different plans, and we all have different things that we want to achieve through this Remont opportunity. Would you agree with that? So you don't want to work on my plan. You don't want to work on the person that's sitting next to you's plan. You want to have your own plan of a short-term and long-term goals and plans within your Remont business. So as you want to make sure that as you're starting your Remont business, you want to set your short-term 3 to 6 months and 2 to 5 year long-term goals that you would like to achieve in Remont. And this is very important. I've actually given an example earlier at the last session. Imagine some people are like, I don't need a goal, I'm just going to do my best and see what happens. Well, it's not a really productive way to do anything if you don't set goals and if you don't set deadlines. I'll give you an example. How many of you have ever tried to lose a little bit of weight before? Anybody? I've been on the journey for 20 years. Me too, okay. But just imagine this. Just imagine. If someone said, okay, I want to lose 1 kilo by 2027. Let's just say that was someone's goal. I want to lose 1 kilo by 2027. How much discipline do I have to apply today? If someone says here is a tiramisu, oh yeah, I'm eating. And someone say, hey, let's go to an afternoon tea party, and they got scones and jelly, and they got beautiful things, egg tart, and all these beautiful things are coming. Oh yes, I'm eating. They said this is beautiful. I will go all the way. Because why? I can eat that today, and I can still lose 1 kilo by 2027. Sure enough. Now, however, what if I had to lose 5 kilo by December? Maybe, you got a photo shoot, maybe you're getting married, maybe you have an event, or maybe you have a health checkup, and you got to lose 5 kilo by December, and I only got a month and a half to do it. How many of you agree you will have different thinking, different behavior, and different discipline, and you will take different actions towards hitting that goal? How many of you guys agree with that? So we're the same. We're all same. We're all same, but we respond better, and we think better, and we make better decisions, and we are more disciplined when we have clear goals or clear deadlines, and this is how all people are. Would you guys agree with that? So you got to ask yourself, okay, what are some of the short-term goals? Where would you like to be? What kind of results would you like to create in first 3 to 6 months of time? Some people say, hey, if I could just make extra 1,000 pounds a month, by doing this part-time, by sharing number one K-Beauty brand in the United Kingdom, I'll have fun, and then they'll be awesome. They will cover my car payment. They will pay for, my kids' extra, education costs, or whatever the cost may be, right? Some people may say, hey, I would love to earn extra 3,000 or 5,000 pounds a month. Or some people may say, many people tell me, I would love to show me a way to earn 10,000 pounds per month in the next 3 to 6 months of time. If I can make 10,000 pounds a month through this Remont opportunity, I would love to take it more seriously, commit more time, and really start participating at the global leadership level, right? I mean, there's no right or wrong, right? There's no right or wrong. It's just based on what do you want. You want to have a clear business plan so you know it, but also whoever you're working with, you clearly communicate to them what your business plan is. It wouldn't be fair, right? Let's just say Casey is an absolute superstar, right? And she's a big thinker. But let's just say I'm a small thinker and I'm just looking at Remont as a very, very part-time side hustle, just fun thing to make extra £1,000 a month, right? If she's trying to make £100,000 and I'm trying to make $1,000, how many of you agree activity is going to be different? Right? And it would be a frustrating conversation for Casey if her activities and her commitment is towards 100,000, but my attitude and my activity is 1,000, but we didn't talk about what my plan is. How many of you guys agree with that? When you're building a team, how many of you think we should be, how many of you think it would be a good idea to understand each other's business plans? So if someone wants 1,000, we do the activities accordingly. If someone wants to make 10,000, expectation and the conversation and the attitude and the activities is matching according to 10,000. And only way to do that is for us to set plans and actually communicate. You guys agree? Okay, so I want to encourage all of you as you're starting your Remont journey, set your 3 to 6 months goal. Whatever your goal may be, 2 to 5 years. I mean, what kind of income level do you like to achieve? All right? I mean, some people in 2 years make £5,000, £10,000. I mean, I'll tell you what is possible. We've got people who's been with us for less than 2 years earning over £100,000 as a monthly income. And they haven't even been with us for 2 years or 5 years at a time. So 1,000 is possible, 10,000 is possible, 100,000 is possible, 200,000 is possible. It's all based on my work and my commitment and my consistency, you know. So, and we want to encourage you guys to write down your plans, and also we want to encourage you to write down your why. You know, sometimes when it's just a number of 1,000 or 10,000 or whatever it may be, first obstacle comes, first challenging comes, first frustration comes, you just say, it's just not worth it and I'm not going to do anything with it. But if you have a clear reason why, strong understanding of why you want to achieve those level of success, and if the why could be attached, which is the emotion side of you, could be attached to your goals. If somebody say, I want to lose 5 kilos by December, but you don't have a reason, if the chocolate cake looks really good, you're going to eat it. You know, but I got to get married, and I bought a wedding dress, and I have to fit into it, and I don't have an option. That's the why. Losing 5 kilos by December is what? But why is why? You know, trying to fit into a wedding dress, and I don't have an option? Oh, yes, chocolate cake. I'll see you in January. You know, and so it is very important to figure out what, but also figure out your why, and I highly recommend you have it written down, and you communicate with whoever gave you the invitation to be here, your partners. Your partners are going to be working with, you want to communicate. So that's step 1, my business plan. In my opinion, most important step out of 4 steps is you understanding my business plan. Do you guys understand? Now, step 2, let's talk about step 2. Step 2, now let's be practical in Remont business. Step 2 is called Senior Manager Game Plan. Now, in Remont compensation, soon as someone registers as a distributor, you start in the business as a rank called planner. Okay, so everybody starts in the business as a planner. And as a planner, you start your business when you achieve first 3,000 SP. SP stands for sales point. When you achieve first 3,000 SP, in UK, it's around 3,000 pounds of sales, okay? And when you achieve that, you become what's called manager, okay? And now planners, you start at 10% retail commission. But as soon as you become a manager, it doubles to over 20% commission. Just think about this. If it's the same product, same retail price, would you rather earn 10% commission or 20% commission? 20% commission, of course. See, I told you everybody in the UK is smart. When I asked that question in the United States, they pull out their phone and open up a calculator. You know, when I asked that question in another country, they ask ChatGPT, you know. But nobody here is pulling out ChatGPT. Like, of course, if it's the same product, same retail price, of course, I'd rather earn twice as much, which is 20%. So manager, how do you become? It's just 3,000 SP. Now, the same concept of becoming a senior manager is 6,000 SP So it's just 6,000 points, which is about 6,000 pounds of sales that gets generated that gets you promoted to senior manager. Now, when you become a senior manager, the commission actually tripled, where you can now earn over 30% retail as a senior manager. So think about it one more time. Same product, same retail price. Would you rather earn 10% or 30%? Now, it's and also, if I could earn 30%, would I rather start earning 30% starting 3 years from now? Or would I rather start earning 30% 3 months from now? Or if there is a way, or if there's an option to, would I rather earn 30% starting today? Of course, starting right now. Sooner I earn 30% is better than earning it later. Would you guys agree with that? So this is the reason why we call it game plan. You want to put a game plan of how you could become a senior manager as fast as possible. There's no right or wrong. You could do it in 6 months, and congratulations. You could do it in 3 months, congratulations. You could do it in a month, congratulations. There's no right or wrong. It all is going to be based on what you want to achieve and how fast you want to achieve, and you calculating how do I want to maximize this plan, okay? Now, here's what's cool about manager and senior manager. Let me briefly explain. Now, team leaders and above, the higher ranks in the company, there are more requirements. However, manager and senior manager, these first two ranks in the company in Remont, it's a milestone approach and it's a lifetime rank. Let me explain. You just have to pass the milestone of 3,000 SP one time, and company does let you count most recent 3 months volume. So if I start in October, November, because October, November is considered the first month of Remont pre-launch in UK. So if I start in November, December, January counts as 3 months. Does that make sense? So anybody that's starting October 17th, you have an extra advantage because October 17th through end of the month count towards November volume as the first month. So everybody that's starting during pre-launch in October, you have extra time, okay, for all the ranks, all right? But it's a 3 months milestone, and if I get 3,000 points, November, December, January combined, or if I just do it right away in November, I could literally do it in 1 day. And if I do it, once I become a manager, there's nothing you could do to go back to a plan. Let's just say I wanted a 6 months vacation on a worldwide cruise, and decide to not bring any device to be disconnected from the world. You don't talk to anyone, you don't get any customer, you do nothing for 6 months, and you have zero sales volume happen for 6 months. You still cannot go back to being a plan. Once you unlock 20%, you're going to continue to benefit as a manager. It's a lifetime, right? You just got to do it one time. So many people, as they're game planning this, they're like, okay, if I only have to do it one time, and it's a lifetime rent for me to lock in a double commission, when should I do it? If I'm going to do it once, I might as well figure out a way to do it as fast as possible, with taking all the actions that I can right away. Would you agree with that? Same thing for senior manager. It's a milestone approach. You pass it, you cannot go back. Once you become a senior manager by surpassing 6,000 points, generating 6,000 points, you cannot go back to a manager or planner. You're going to benefit as a senior manager at 30% retail commission after all. So just think about this. So if that is the case, just by looking at this, I'm going to be sharing the products to people anyways. I'm going to be sharing my products and the opportunity anyways. People are going to be buying products from me anyways. When do I want to earn 30%? And most people, when I have the conversation, they tell me, I want to get there as fast as possible. Show me the quickest way to do it. Does that make sense to you? Now, I'm not saying that that's your thought. I'm just saying that that's the conversation I have in most of the cases. So let me show you the quickest way, the fastest way to become a senior manager, and also how this works. Okay? Now, let me tell you a little more about how to become senior manager and also the benefits of being a senior manager. I mentioned it earlier, 6,000 points over 3 months, but You don't have to wait 3 months. If you do it today, you could become senior manager today. So how do you count the points? Your personal order counts. If I introduce someone to the business, let's just say I introduce Nicholas here. Let's just say I introduce Nicholas to the business. Then when he orders, that also counts towards the points. Okay. When Nicholas gets customers to purchase, also that counts towards my points. Also, if I get a customer, let's just say I got Abby as a customer, when Abby orders, that also counts. So it's 4 sources: your personal orders, your personal customer orders, your first level directly sponsored by you distributor orders, and their customer orders are going to all count towards that 6,000 points that you're trying to accumulate. Does that make sense to you? Now we're talking about game plan. We're talking about how do you get there the fastest, what's the easiest way to get there, game plan, right? So in that scenario, let me ask you a question. Who is the quickest person you could talk to, fastest person you could communicate with, and who should be the easiest person for you to talk to as quick as possible? Yes. Man, she's so smart. Yourself. Now, let me ask you a question. How many of you know you? Okay, how many of you are sitting with you right now? Like, how many of you are with you right now? And here's what we know: you are with you at all times. Here's what's also really incredible. You don't even have to open the mouth to talk to yourself. You can literally think it, and yourself will understand what you're saying. You understand? So the easiest person and the quickest person for you to communicate with will be yourself. And Lehman has products and starter kits. And I don't know about you. For me, I'll feel way more confident about telling someone about a product after I use it and after I love it, rather than something I have never used. How many of you guys are similar to me, right? Of course. So who should be the very first person in my business that should use all of our products? Of course, me. I want to use it. I want to use it in every way possible. I want to use all the products. I want to get familiar with all the products. And of course, the people I love, with my family, my direct family, my best of friends. I want them to experience it as fast as possible. And the best way to do that is for me to take advantage of the starter kit, which I'm going to talk about, and really access as much products as possible. Remember, we're talking about game plan. Right? We're not talking about a plan, we're talking about a game plan, which is the fastest way and the easiest way to maximize the plan. It's like a sporting play, football play, it's a game plan, all right? So as a senior manager, you're earning 25% base commission, additional 5% group commission. That's how you're getting 30% commission. If you got a lot of customers, when you're generating over 5,000 personal volume from retail orders, you get additional 10%, so you can technically earn up to 40% in retail commission. There's a lot of benefits to become a senior manager. And after you become a senior manager, not just on your personal retail sales, on your team's activities. So yes, as a senior manager, if you personally order, you're going to get 30% benefit. Yes, if your customer orders, you're going to get 30 to 40% commission. But if you sponsor someone in your team, they're a planner, they make their own 10% commission, so you subtract 10 from 30, and you make the difference of 20%. It's a very easy program. 30 minus 10 is 20. If you have a manager in your team, well, manager is in position to earn 20%. So you subtract 20 from your 30, and you're going to earn 10% on their orders. Does that make sense to you? And if you're a senior manager, and if you have a senior manager you directly enroll, then you're going to earn 5% on their orders because you're at the same position and they're making their own 30%. So this is how it works, and it's very simple. And the easiest way to get that done is by you taking advantage of the starter kit that I'm going to show you in a couple of minutes on how you can maximize and get the best value in taking advantage of getting Lehman products, okay? So step 2 is senior manager game plan. You want to set a goal to become a senior manager as fast as possible. I actually said it during the 2 o'clock end of the 2 o'clock session after K-Pop-Up. If I were you, if I was one of the persons participating in Remont UK pre-launch as a brand new person coming in here, what I would do is I would probably set a game plan and set a goal to become a senior manager today before the launch event tomorrow. Because tomorrow you probably have a lot of people coming. You probably have a lot of people you're introducing the opportunity and the products to tomorrow. Tomorrow you're going to hear from our chief sales officer on the vision. You're going to hear about the European expansion plan. You're going to hear about our products in details with ingredients and the science from our product trainer Angie. I mean, tomorrow is going to be absolutely incredible. But tomorrow, I know for a fact that most of the people that come tomorrow, they're going to either become a business partner or they're buying products tomorrow. So tomorrow, if you have people learning about Remont with us at the Novotel London West Hotel, you're going to have sales tomorrow. So when that happens, do you want to earn 10%? Or do you want to be in position to earn 30%? So I'm just telling you, for me, if I was in the shoes of just being introduced to Remont, and I just got my account created yesterday or today, what I would do is put myself, figure out a game plan to get my 6,000 points done today, to become a senior manager today, so I'm in position to maximize my activities and profits for what I'm going to do tomorrow anyways. Does that make sense to you? So that's the senior manager game plan. Now, number 3 is called team leader game plan. Now, some people may go, hey, I'm starting as a planner. You already talked to me about 2 steps up to tripling the commission and manager. Can I take it a little slow and talk about team leader later? Some people tell me, and I tell them, I said, well, I just don't want you to be mad at me later. Because team leader is the 50,000 points. Oh, sorry. Team leader is 50,000 points. However, they let you count 5 months, 5 most recent months, 5 most recent months volume accumulated volume to become a team leader. So 50,000 volume, not based on your personal, but your whole team's activities. So if you're counting November, December, January, February, March, you get to count all that for 50,000 points. And why is that important? What if you didn't know about this, and you don't put a game plan now, and you don't understand it? Now, March comes around. March comes around, month 6 comes around, month 7 comes around. We're like, what happened to my points from November, December? You're like, well, it's 5 months count. 5 months count. And you're like, why didn't you tell me? How many of you want to make sure that your partners are not managed through month 6? How many of you want to make sure? Now, remember, it's up to them. Their business plan, what they achieve, what they want to do, it's up to them. But it's our job to at least let everybody know so everybody's clear on the time schedule. That way they don't miss out on any of those activities that's happening from day one. Well, don't you guys think that's fair? We should let everybody know what's going on so they don't miss out on anything. So now, team leader game plan. Now, let's talk about team leader. Team leader, in summary, you get, instead of 30%, your commission goes into 40%. Team leader also is when you start earning unlimited levels of commission based on the activities. 40% minus whatever's been paid in the team, the difference is always going to the team leader. Team leader is the single highest percentage position that you could earn commission on in the sales activity. Team leaders is we call it the sweet spot. Team leaders is where you want to be. Team leader is when you can start making full-time income, possibly more income than average doctors and CEOs in the United Kingdom for our top producing team leaders once you achieve it. Now, team leaders is also possible for everybody because we have already thousands and thousands of people that have done it. And team leaders is also where it unlocks and it starts what's called Leadership Max Program, which is the absolute favorite part and the most profitable, the most valuable part of our compensation plan starts at the team leader level. So team leader is something you want to achieve as fast as possible too. How do you become a team leader? Let me briefly explain. It's 50,000 points in 5 months of time. But you don't have to wait 5 months. If you did 50,000 points in 1 month or 2 weeks or 1 week of time, you could take advantage of that the following month. This is the first time where you can't do it on your own because the position is called team leader. You can't be a team leader if you don't have a team. It's not called solo leader, okay? Individual leader. It's a team leader. So you have to build a team. You don't have to build a team of 100 people, but you do need to find at least 3 senior managers in your team, okay? So you need to develop 3 managers, 3 senior managers in your team. You and your whole team's activities and sales volume together, when you surpass the 50,000 point, that's how you unlock the team leader level, okay? Once you become team leader, your base commission is 40%. With the opportunity to earn additional 10% if you become a top retailer by having a lot of customers buy products from you, okay? Now, from your team, how much commission could you earn? Let me briefly explain. On your personal, yes, it's 40%. Your personal customers, you earn 40% or up to 50%, extra 10% if you're a top retailer, okay? But if you have a planner, remember, planners earn 10%, remember that, right? So if you have a planner that generates sales, they get to make their own 10%. But you as a team leader, you get to make the difference. What's 40 minus 10? See, nobody pulled out their calculator here. That's unbelievable. When I was in Malaysia, they were like, hey, what's 40 minus 10? I'm just kidding. Okay? 40 minus 10, you earn 30%. Planner generates sales, you make 30%. When the manager, what does manager make? 20%. So when manager generates sales, you subtract 20 from 40, what do you make? You make 20%. How many of you guys like that idea, right? And senior manager makes 10%. So you make the difference of 40 minus 30 is 10%, and you're making 10% on their sales activities. Now, knowing that you could earn 10 or 20 or 30% on other partners in your team that are marketing this #1 KPV product with you, how many people do you want to have in your team? And here's what's exciting. There is no limit on how many people you're allowed to have in your team. You know, a lot of us work in the corporate world, right? A lot of us had jobs before. Can you imagine if there was such an idea that you could get as many people as you would like in your team, and when they generate sales, we'll pay you a percentage. And you don't have to be the one responsible to pay. How many of you guys would literally go out there and build your team unlimited size, right? And that's what's really happening with Reman Opportunity. So now, becoming a team leader, and we talked about it actually this morning as an announcement, there is a huge value for anyone that's getting started during the pre-launch of UK to become a team leader as fast as possible. Because when you become a team leader, usually, here's how it works, okay? If I meet the requirement to become a team leader by November, usually, if I meet the requirement in November, starting December sales is when I would earn as a team leader. I mean, that's normal, right? I met the requirement, now I get the benefit going forward, not backwards. Would you guys agree with that? Just like airline models. If I became platinum or diamond or whatever with the airline, going forward, I get the benefit, not backwards. Would you guys agree? But it's very unique during the pre-launch of UK because if you're starting now, during the pre-launch, October 17th until November 30th, you become a team leader. You meet the requirement to become a team leader by November 30th. Instead of benefit, the compensation starting going forward of December, you can actually earn as a team leader for all your activities and sales volume starting day one of pre-launch of UK, which is yesterday, October 2nd. So it's the only chance, because we're new to the market, that you can actually get backwards benefit by all the sales volume you do. So which means your first commission for all the pre-launch activities, you're going to get paid as a team leader, which is going to be multiple times bigger than if you were earning as a manager, senior manager the normal way. Does that make sense to you? So it's a huge opportunity. Because of this, many people, I guarantee it, you can see it when the first commission comes out, many people are going to be earning 5 figures, 10, 20, 30,000 pounds or more as a first month commission for people that actually do a great job during pre-launch and become a team leader by at the end of November. So it's a huge opportunity. That's a promotion that's going on. If you want to understand more, to have a detailed team leader game plan, talk to the leaders, talk to the people that gave the invitation. They will help you to really understand how you could have a personalized game plan for you to become a team leader. Another thing that's really exciting that we announced this morning is anyone that becomes a team leader in the first 50 people group. So if you become one of the first 50 people from the United Kingdom to become a team leader, you're going to have all expense paid retreat, free vacations to Jeju Island, which is the island where our heritage and ingredients and things come from, and our resort is there. We have our 5-star own resort that we have built. You could come be invited to Remont Village on a vacation. How many of you guys like vacation? Anybody? Do you guys know the difference between a trip and a vacation? Trip is when you're paying for it usually. Vacation, true vacation, is when someone else is paying for it. How many of you realize you've been tripping your whole life? And then you get it, tripping. Some of you get it, some of you don't get it. But anyways, we're going to go on a vacation. The company that pays for your flight, and you're going to stay there, entertainment, food, everything in Jeju Island is going to be an absolutely beautiful time. We encourage you to be one of the first 50 people to join us in Jeju Island for the retreat. Who wants to be one of the first 50 in the United Kingdom? Oh, hold on, raise your hand real high. I'm going to get my camera out. Okay, I want to make sure that we capture this. So we will, I wish all 150 of you could be part of first 50. But just so you know, think about it, easy math. 150 people, 50. If you do it and the person sitting next to you don't do it, then we do it. I'm just kidding, okay? So first 50, we want to encourage you to do it. How do you become team leader? Let me show it to you, okay? Here's the absolutely easiest. Remember, we're not talking about a plan, we're talking about a game plan, okay? 50,000 points, yes, but you gotta have a 3-people team. You gotta find 3 senior managers. So what is the easiest, fastest, and most effective way to become a team leader? Let me share, because it's a game plan. The easiest way to become a team leader, I can tell you right now, is to go out there, help 3 people to become senior manager, but help them to also find a couple other people to become a senior manager. Because if you do the math, 6,000 points is what senior manager will generate. So if 3 people become senior manager, it's what? 6,000 times 3 is 18,000. 18,000 times 3 different teams is 54,000. Easy math. That gives you more than 50,000 points. That gives you more than 3 senior managers. It is the easiest and fastest and quickest way for you to become a team leader. For me, trying to help 3 people that I know, if I introduce the opportunity and explain the opportunity, they're going to want to triple their commission and become senior manager and unlock 30% as fast as possible. That's easy. If I could help 3 people to do it, and if I've already done it, if I could help them to do it with a couple other people, helping 9 people, 3 people in 3 different teams, helping 9 people to become senior manager, to me, is much easier than me trying to generate 50,000 sales. Does that make sense to you? Me creating 9 is easier than 50,000. And that is the easiest. Remember, we're not talking about a plan. We're talking about a game plan. That is the easiest and most effective, and the fastest way to do it is to go out there and take full advantage of the opportunity of helping someone to become senior manager. So I can tell you, the duplication, if someone asks me, and give me clear instruction, clear coaching on how I can become a team leader fast, I will tell them in one sentence. The duplication of senior managers is the fastest way to become a team leader. You know, whenever someone joins my business, someone joins my team, whenever I introduce someone to the business, my whole focus doesn't matter where their mind goes. How many of you guys know some smart, brilliant, creative, full of idea people? Now, I'm not talking about you, but like, I'll give you an example, okay? Let's see here. Let's see. Can I pick up? She's like, don't pick on me, don't pick on me. Nice to meet you. What's your name? Tina. Everybody say hello, Tina. Hello. Now, let's just say, Tina, you know some creative, like, smart, a lot of full of ideas, like brilliant people, You probably met people like that too, right? And sometimes they get started in the business. Sometimes, like Tina gets started, and I'm not. This is an example. Tina goes, "Hey, Danny, but I know the chairman of this billion-dollar company. They have 1,000 locations, and if we could just get Riemann product connected to the chairman and 1,000 locations of their retail stores, it will explode." And Tina next day has an idea. Oh, I know this person has 50 million followers on Instagram, and he's a powerful influencer, and if she could just market our product, this thing will absolutely explode. And she goes, and I know this esthetician, who is professional in skincare, and if she has already a huge community, if she does this, it will absolutely explode. She's got great ideas now. Are those ideas good ideas or bad ideas? They're all good ideas. They're all good ideas. But I can tell you, there are right actions has to happen at the right time. The order has to happen at the right time. Do you really want those things connected when you're getting 10% as a planner? No. I don't want to get those things connected when I'm a planner. I want to get those things connected when I fully understand and I am maximizing the plan. How many of you guys agree with that statement? So those are right ideas. Brilliant ideas are good, but we have to do the right actions at the right time. Right actions first is what? Right actions first is to become a senior manager. And right actions first is to help people to become senior manager, to become a team leader. Because those are great ideas, but without those ideas, you can get 6,000 points. Without those ideas, before implementing or exercising those ideas, you could go out there and become a team leader. So do this first, and we work on those other ideas, because those ideas take time. How many of you guys agree? Those could take a year. Those could take 6 months of conversation. But you want to get the basic things done out of the way, which is becoming a senior manager, and have a clear game plan to become a team leader, to maximize the plan first before you venture off in other creative, great ideas. Does that make sense to you? So the key in this business, anybody that I help to get started in the business, is to make sure that they're on a quick run, an absolute sprint to become a senior manager as fast as possible, and duplicating the activities of helping someone start and become a senior manager as fast as possible is the key in you becoming a team leader as fast as possible. And because of that, someone like Mr. Steve Young, who's going to be doing the 7 o'clock presentation tonight, who's a national director, you want to learn from Mr. Steve Young. Let me tell you why. He's the only national director in the company that has a strong business going in all 10 countries that are operating. You know what that means? He doesn't speak 10 languages. But you know what that means? He has understood the simple duplication system of Riemann better than anyone else. Why? Because he's been doing it the longest. He was there from day one when the very first presentation happened in the United States. He's seen it, he's heard it, he's done it more than anyone else, and he's absolutely mastered it. And because of it, him understanding this since day one, guess how long it took him for him to become a team leader? How long did it take you to become a team leader, Mr. Sneeda?
7 days.
7 days. Wow. Why? Because he didn't look at 50,000. He looked at, I just got to help 9 people to become a senior manager. 50,000 seems like a lot in 7 days. True or not true? But helping 9 people to become a senior manager doesn't seem like a lot. Does that make sense? You're not responding. Let me ask the father. Does that make sense to you? I think it makes sense. Now, because he's mastered it, guess what happened when we launched Hong Kong? Let me talk to you about Hong Kong. We launched Hong Kong about a year and a half after we started the United States. Mr. Steve Young goes there. He shares his story. He's mastered the game by then. A year and a half of duplicating senior managers. And he started his team in Hong Kong. And they're actually here right now with the sponsors of them, Jackie from Taiwan. And they actually have, are they here right now? Do I see Debbie? Where's Debbie? Oh, I see Whiskey here, okay? Whiskey, how long did it take you to become a team leader? Now, we prepared for a few weeks prior to the launch. When the launch of Hong Kong happened, how long did it take you to become a team leader?
1 day.
1 day. Now, some of you are like, how do you do that in 1 day? 50,000 is hard. 50,000 is hard. But helping 9 people to become senior manager is possible. Somebody said, well, how do you do that? Now, she did have a few weeks to prepare. We talked about it just like yesterday. How many of you knew about Remont a few weeks ago? You waited for yesterday to sign up and yesterday's order product. Just the same way, she was waiting for a few weeks and she prepared. And she basically figured out a way, okay, let me talk to my friends, let me talk to my contacts. She doesn't have any direct sales experience. She doesn't have any team building experience. She doesn't have any of K-Beauty experience, but she saw the opportunity and she clearly understood, coached by National Director Steve and National Director Jackie, that okay, the whole thing is about duplicating senior managers. So Whiskey did it the first day. Debbie did it the first day. She's here. She flew in from Hong Kong. She's also here. Also, we have Angela who did it the first day. And also Sonia who did it the first day. They're actually, all 4 of them are, I think, actually here. And they did it the first day because remember, it's not a plan. It's a game plan. Does that make sense? They had a game plan to execute, to go out there and intentionally create the result, intentionally create the story. There's a difference between getting results and intentionally creating story. How many of you guys agree with that? And if you could be intentional about your initial senior manager story, yes, you could do it in 3 years. There's no right or wrong. You could do it in 2 years later, and it's not wrong. It is okay. It's based on what you want. But if you want to, you could become a senior manager 2 years later. You could become team leader 5 years later. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you're saying, hey, I see Remont expanding in UK, I see what's going to happen with Remont European expansion, I want to be the first. I want to be one of the first 50 to go to Jeju. I want to have the story that I was the first team leader. I want to have a story that I was the first 10 and first 50, first 100. I want to have the story that I became a senior manager in 1 day or 3 days or 1 week of time. I want to be intentional about creating my story. If you want to be intentional about creating a story, I'm just showing you a game plan on how you could do it. Does that make sense to you? Mr. Steve Young, after almost 3 years of being part of the expansion now, he doesn't talk about what he did on month 24. He talks about how he became a senior manager first day and team leader in 7 days. That's what he talks about in every market and letting them know that it's possible. And because of it, he's built one of the largest organizations in the company because he intentionally created a story and he went out there and told the story to duplicate, to show people what's possible. Does that make sense to you? Let me ask the remote controls. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you? I'm not a mind reader, okay? I'm just a K-Beauty storyteller. I'm not a mind reader. It would help me if you could answer, all right? Does that make sense? Okay, I want to encourage you. I want to encourage every single one of you, as you start your Remont business with us, be intentional about you creating your senior manager story and team leader story, and by putting a game plan together, and I promise you're going to have an incredible journey in Remont. So what is the fastest way to become senior manager and team leader? Is taking advantage of the starter kits. You know, in Remont we have what's called starter kits. Let me explain what starter kits are. The products that we have available, we have it as a bundle package. Okay? Yes, getting your business started, getting your account set up, registration is free, and you have your online store. The starter kit, it's available on Remont.com. You can see it under UK, you can see it under the monthly special. You're going to be able to see it. But you're going to see a tab actually says starter kit. When you access it, let me tell you something about starter kits. Number one, it's only brand new planners have access to starter kits for first 30 days. Okay, so if I signed up on October 17th, November 16th, you cannot access them anymore. Okay, starter kits is designed to give extra benefit for brand new people that's starting the business to access more products at the greatest value. This is the best value. Starter kits is the best value purchase opportunity that you're going to have in Reno. Okay, you're never going to get as many free products in a package as much as you do in starter kits. Okay. Number 3 is you can only access maximum of 4 starter kits. Doesn't matter what kit you choose, you can only take advantage of 4 maximum kits. Because companies giving out a lot of free products in the package, there is a limit on how much you can buy. Does that make sense to you? So now there are 3 types of starter kits. It's very easy. There's a 300 pounds, 300 SP starter kit. That's the basic essential products in there. And we have a 1,000 pound, 1,000 SP starter kit that has the best selling all the products in it. And there's a 1,500 pound, 1,500 point starter kit that has a couple of the best selling products in there and few of the best top selling products in there. So you have product for you to use, product for you to demonstrate, product for you to possibly retail to people that are close to you that you may be introducing the products to. Does that make sense to you? So there are 3 types of kits, 300, 1,000, and 1,500. And you could maximum choose up to 4, take advantage of the 4, and it is totally up to you. It's not a requirement to buy, it is an opportunity and access for you to buy. Does that make sense? Now, as an example, me as a business person, when I saw this, I said, okay, you let me buy up to 4. I want the biggest package. I want to take full advantage of it. Now, we don't want anybody buying products that they're not going to do anything with. That's not what we want. But only if I was committed, which I was, and I wanted to retail, I wanted to demonstrate, and I wanted to get myself to the 30% commission position as fast as possible, I took advantage of that opportunity. And I took advantage of that opportunity by purchasing the starter kit. Now, in the United Kingdom, as a planner, if you're a brand new person getting started, we have a cooling period of 7 days where you're not allowed to purchase any more than 200 pounds worth of products right away yourself. So if you choose these starter kits, it will process on day 8. It's not going to go through on first day because you have to, within the 7 days, you have a cooling off. You can cancel your membership and not be part of the business anymore. Does that make sense? So you want to make sure that you understand that. And these are the starter kits. Now, you can get more components and detailed information about starter kit on the website, and you can talk to a leader about it. So if you want to become a senior manager, if you want to become a team leader, take advantage of the starter kits and counsel with whoever brought you here so you can fully maximize the program. All right? Last but not least is step number 4. It's my commitment to my plan. All right? We talked about our my business plan. We talked about senior manager game plan. Number 3, team leader game plan. Last is my commitment to my plans. Now you set your plans. You want to make the right commitments. I believe that commitments are the most important thing that's going to hold you to it. And take the right actions, have the right mindset, and sometimes at times, discipline yourself to make sure that you stay the course. It's going to come from your step 4, my commitment to my plans. How do you do it? The greatest way to commit to your plans is to start taking actions. If I said I'm going to start exercising, if I'm verbally committing it, but if I'm not doing it, then my commitment is going to go away. Only way to keep the commitment to follow through the plan is to start taking action. Would you agree with that? And the first action you want to take is to schedule 2 K-pop-ups. What's K-pop-up? Schedule 2 events for you to invite your friends and family and peers to come learn about our products at your house or at your comfortable place or using this office, okay? And you want to set your those dates. Maybe it's on Monday after the event tomorrow. Maybe it's next week. So set those 2 events. After that, after you commit to those 2 events, make a list and you start inviting them to come learn about it. Somebody asked me, what do you say? Very simple. I just connected with the #1 K-beauty brand that's entering the United Kingdom. I'm just getting a few friends coming together to actually experience free facial. You want to come? That's it. How many of you think that's very simple to say, right? In your own language, however you want to say it. Letting them know #1 K-beauty entered the United Kingdom. We're just getting a few friends together to experience free facial. Do you want to come? And having some products and things ready, like you saw it in K-Pop-Up earlier. If you didn't, tomorrow Karen will be explaining how to do K-Pop-Up tomorrow, and you just give them the demonstration of the product. That's how these activities start beginning and your business starts to build. And from there, you want to start creating your product and business story. As an example, You want to create your before and after pictures. Now, you don't have to show it to me, and please don't send it to me. But I would recommend that starting today, or starting whenever you start receiving product, every day take a selfie. In the same position, same lighting, same room. You take it for yourself, okay? You keep it yourself, because I want you to see it. It's not for anybody else yet, but for you to see it. 7 days later, 30 days later, I want you to actually compare the picture and see how much transformation you have gone through. And when you feel proud and when you feel excited about it, you're welcome to share it with other people. So if you want to start creating your product before and after business product story, you also want to start creating your business stories. And I promise you that's going to help you build a successful business. In closing, I just want to let you know that you don't, today, yes, my time of doing orientation by myself is the only time today, and this is it. However, starting next week, after the event tomorrow, now tomorrow is going to be a great opportunity to learn more tomorrow. You're going to hear from our national directors. You're going to hear from senior directors tomorrow. You're going to hear from our CEO from Korea, Mr. Hong tomorrow. You're going to hear from our product trainer tomorrow. You're going to have incredible information tomorrow. It's going to be brilliant tomorrow. But after that, this office right here is here 6-7 days a week, every single day, open and available for you to come in and do your own private orientation and presentation and K-pop-ups, as well as we have leaders like Mr. Legion Thomas, Mr. Assad, and some other leaders that are local based here in the UK. We're going to be announcing a schedule tomorrow on a weekly system that you can literally just plug into, bring people and introduce people to existing presentation and orientation and K-pop-up for you to start building your business with. So just know that you're not on your own. Yes, we're teaching you, we're coaching you in a short amount of time, but you're going to have continuous support, physical support right here in UK office, right here at this place, for you to participate and continue to learn and build. Does that make sense to you? We appreciate all of you joining us for the orientation. Hopefully you picked up some good ideas. Hopefully you're able to see a clear picture of what you have to do next so you can maximize the plan. Tomorrow event is going to be at 2 o'clock at the Novotel London West Hotel. We have one last event today at 7 o'clock presentation. It will be a great opportunity for you to learn from National Director, Mr. Steve Young, the presentation. All right, have a great evening, everyone. We'll see you next time.